Well, good evening, everyone. We are very excited to bring you the 2021 BC Library Awards to honor the outstanding work being done by our members and by libraries across the province. I'm sure you just saw me moments ago, but I am Todd Mundell. I am now the president of the British Columbia Library Association and happy to be emceeing this evening. Our first award of the evening is the Young Adult and Children's Services Section Award, which is recognizing exceptional service. And I'd like to welcome Catherine Parker, who will be presenting the award.
Hello, good evening. My name is Catherine Parker. I'm a children's librarian at the Vancouver Public Library and also chair of the YACS Award Committee for 2021. So I hope you're having a good evening. I'm here to announce the winner of this year's YACS Award. And I've got to tell you, it was a really hard decision. We met in April to decide from the nominees. There's 8 nominees in total, and all were so qualified and deserving. And it's so hard in time of COVID. So many innovative, really awesome programming out there, considering we had to pivot toward a totally virtual environment. And it's all new to all of us. And the people that were nominated were all so innovative and had such great approaches to the COVID lockdown challenge. But one person's name did rise to the top of everyone's top choices. Her name kept coming up again and again as really worthy of winning the top award. And her name is Melody Ray Story of the Nelson Public Library, nominated by Melanie Reevely of the executive director of the Kootenay Library Federation. So Melody Ray, big congratulations, because your programs are so amazing, so innovative and special, and they have such wide reach and breadth of reach, so impressive. That's ultimately what really impressed us all, was her programs reach people Kootenay-wide, not just in her local community of Nelson. Some of her programs are the Leadership Journey Certificate Program. She does this in collaboration with the Columbia Basin Trust. It's a 6-session program for kids 12 to 18 to earn a leadership certificate. And she also does Awaken Your Inner Activist for teens. It's a program that looks at different themes like allyship, environmentalism, and really reaches youth in looking at different social activist themes. Another program of hers we were super impressed with was her Kootenay-wide Pen Pal Club. This is so impressive to us because you don't need a computer or tech to send a letter, and Melanie connected people across the Kootenays when in that lockdown time, as we're so isolated from each other, just by offering a pen pal to connect people as pen pals, which is so great that she could find a way to do programming, connect people, but without the use of computers if they didn't want to. So that was so impressive to us, because all of us were struggling to think through lockdown of some kind of program what we could do without the need of a computer for those of people that wanted to reach out in different ways and were kind of tired of seeing each other on the screen. Another program she does is called Under the Umbrella with the Nelson Youth Action Network for LGBTQ plus youth and allies. And her big program is the Kootenay Teen Online Book Club. She did this through the lockdown starting in July 2020 and had really impressive authors visit, like Susan Nielsen, Kenneth Opel, and Gordon Corman. And what was super stood out was that she got up to 67 teens at these programs, which, as you know, if you work with teens, they're kind of hard to reach sometimes and engage in programming. So what an outstanding feat to reach that many teens at one time. So congratulations, Melody Ray. We were so impressed that you're from a smaller center, as librarians working in larger centers with quite a few other librarians around to collaborate with and decide on programming and to figure out all that networking stuff that was really hard in the virtual environment. It's really impressive to us that someone from a smaller community could do what we did, but mostly on their own or with fewer resources around them. And Melody Ray, there's a few nominees like that, and Melody Ray really exemplifies the spirit of that small town gung-ho attitude. So big congratulations to Melody Ray, and hope you guys are enjoying the evening. And I'll say goodbye now and turn it over to Melody Ray's acceptance recording. Have a great night. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, Melody Ray Story here. I won a big award. Thank you to God. Thank you to my Hollywood agent. No, just joking. Thank you so much, Yak. This is an incredible honor and it was a huge lift in a very tough year. BCLA and Yak do so much for rural librarians like myself, and thank you for your support and enjoy the rest of your ceremony. Bye.
Okay, that's great. Congratulations to Melody for that. Our next award comes from BCLS. The British Columbia Academic Library Section Outstanding Contribution Award is presented to an individual or team whose professional achievements have made a difference to students, faculty, or colleagues. So here to present the award is Ian Henninger.
Yeah, thanks very much, Todd. So yeah, my name is Ian Henninger and I'm the outgoing chair of the BC Academic Library section. Before I introduce the winner of this award, I would like to first acknowledge the work of the awards committee this year, who were, in addition to myself, folks from the broader academic library community. And those members were Jennifer Abel, Chloe Riley, Janice McKenzie, and Jackie McFarland. We also had a very strong field, and the awards committee actually had a bit of a discussion about why we have to pick just one winner when so many people have been doing such great work under tough conditions. And honestly, we kind of arrived at the preliminary conclusion that a lot of it's just tradition, and maybe that'll be a further discussion for another time. But for the time being, we thought that everyone's work deserved to be recognized, as did the labor involved in just putting together a nomination in such a difficult year. So as such, I would first like to also name and recognize the other nominees from this year with their permission. We had 4 nominees, and so the 3 others are Deborah Fluelling at Douglas College, the Indigenous Curriculum Resource Center at Simon Fraser University, as developed by Ashley Edwards, and the Capilano University Library and Academic Services Chat, which was a team effort. So as Todd said, this award is given to an individual or team whose professional achievements have made a real difference to students, faculty, or colleagues in BC. And the winner this year is a team who has made a difference for students, faculty, and colleagues, and that is the Open Publishing Suite team at Kwantlen Polytechnic University. This is a team of library technicians, librarians, and education strategists partnered with KPU's Open Education Office, and their in-house open publishing service was launched in March 2019. Since then, the team has helped publish over 20 open texts, as well as a number of journals, and they offer a variety of other services and consultations, including connecting with other institutions who are exploring open publishing. So for these contributions and impacts, we decided to give them the award this year. And here to say more about the team and accept the award, I believe we have Carolyn Daniels. So Carolyn, over to you.
Hello. I was told that I was acting as the senior member of the team in accepting this award. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it definitely is a team effort. I'm always telling my teenagers to get off their phones, but sometimes good ideas do come out of texts. So it all started with a text from Todd Mundell. A few of us were at an open ed conference and we were listening to all the reasons why instructional faculty don't publish their work in the open. And that's when my phone buzzed, and it was from Todd saying, "Can't we help these people?" And thus Opus was born. So the team has expanded and the publications keep coming. What a time for open and online in these times of 100% online learning. It's never been more important. So I'm very honored to accept this on behalf of my junior colleagues and wish to thank BCLA and BCLS for the recognition. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Caroline. And I think I will probably have to take credit for calling you in that way. It was senior from an experiential perspective. I also believe I was just 2 tables behind you when I sent you that text, not realizing we were in the same session. Yes, that's great. So that's fabulous. Congratulations to you and the entire Opus team. Our next award is the BC Summer Reading Club Community Story Award. Each year, the BC Summer Reading Club presents this award to an individual whose story best demonstrates the impact of the Summer Reading Club within their community. So here to present the award is the provincial coordinator of the BC Summer Reading Club, Stephanie Usher.
Thank you, Todd. So this year's winning story is a first. We have 2 libraries being recognized, and they are Kate Longley of North Vancouver City Library and Danielle Wing of North Vancouver District Library. So last summer, libraries were faced with unprecedented circumstances on all fronts, let alone running BC Summer Reading Club. For this year's Community Story Award, we wanted to celebrate the small victories that libraries all got to have this year. We ran a number of stories that showed the ways libraries connected with their communities while their doors remained closed, or that they were working with minimal staff. When Kate and Danielle submitted their shared story, they demonstrated the ways their 2 library systems came together to pull resources and bring SRC to all of North Vancouver. This included innovative and creative ways that they honored their annual SRC traditions, while also looking to adapt and bring new programs to the children and families in their community. While I won't read their wonderful entry this evening, you can find it on bcsrc.ca/staff. And I am now going to hand it over to our winners. So congratulations, Kate and Danielle, and I welcome you both to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's really an honor to accept the BC Summer Reading Club Community Story Award tonight, along with Danielle Wing. Summer Reading Club this past year has definitely been a collaborative effort, and I really can't accept this award without doing so on behalf of all of the youth team at the North Vancouver City Library, who contributed so much to the planning and programming for Summer Reading Club in the city of North Vancouver. And I'd especially like to acknowledge the support of Karen Coyne, our children's librarian, Abby Saxton, our communications coordinator, and her whole team, Mikkel Finton, our manager of public services. I'd also really like to thank Danielle and all of her colleagues at the North Vancouver District Public Library for their shared vision. It's such a topsy-turvy time leading up to SRC in 2020. And I'm sure you all remember, it's hard to kind of step back and see and remember the constant state of uncertainty we were all in at this time a year ago. I found the moral support and professional expertise of so many other library folks was indispensable, particularly the members of the Interlink Youth Services Committee and BCLA's Young Adult and Children's section. It's such a privilege to work within these communities. Thank you.
I'll add to Kate's comments, though I have a lot of the same things to say. I wanted to acknowledge that so many libraries did so many amazing things last summer. And it was so exciting and inspiring to see what everyone was doing in such a difficult time. And of course, it was so great to get to collaborate with North Vancouver City Library, since we share a school district and we hadn't done much of that in the past. And I think it's really important to mention that it was really a full library effort to run SRC last year, as it is most years, but especially last year. Everyone pitched in, even when their plates were so full and they were busy trying to invent new types of library programming and library takeout. No one said no, they all just went for it. And that was really helpful and wonderful. And of course, I think we have to acknowledge Stephanie, our SRC coordinator, and the co-chairs and everyone who worked on the website and app, because we certainly couldn't have done anything that we did last summer without all those wonderful resources and help. So thank you.
That's great. Well, congratulations to both Kate and Danielle on that. We now would like to present our next award, which is the BCLA Champion of Intellectual Freedom Award. This award is given to an individual or organization that demonstrates significant advancement of intellectual freedom in the public realm for the benefit of all British Columbians. To introduce this year's champions, I'd like to welcome Sarah Sheridan.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Sarah Sheridan. I'm a library tech student and a listener and a fan of the Organizing Ideas podcast created by Karen Ng and Allison Jones. I nominated them for an award without knowing that I would have to make a speech, yet here I am. I learned of their podcast this past fall and have since listened to many of their wonderful episodes. The Organizing Ideas podcast has helped offer me a great sense of relief when I felt frustrated in my own library classes. I'm still in my library program now. When I wish, and still wish, for a greater critique of power struggles in libraries. After listening to a few episodes, I began recommending Karen and Allison's podcast to my library school classmates. And my classmates were so appreciative, even citing the episodes for the library projects. In this podcast, Karen and Allison have interviewed so many well-informed guests about topics that often go undiscussed or rushed by in library school. For instance, they interview guests about how police presence puts library patrons and staff at risk of police violence, specifically Black, Brown, and Indigenous people. They've interviewed guests about the transphobic events that took place at the Toronto and Vancouver Public Library and how those room booking decisions broke trust with the trans library patrons and trans library workers. Their episodes cover so many important aspects of library work that benefit from these long conversations and much deeper unpacking. I wish this podcast was required listening in library school. I wish it was paid listening work for all library workers. Big kudos to Karen and Allison for giving such big shits and making such a great podcast. Congratulations to the creators and hosts of the Organizing Ideas podcast. You do such an awesome job. Karen Ng and Allison Jones. Many, many congrats.
Thank you, Sarah, for nominating us and the BCLA Awards Committee. We're grateful to be joining you tonight from the unceded and ancestral territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples, and we're honored to be recognized for our work related to intellectual freedom, but also a bit surprised because honestly, when it comes to intellectual freedom, we have many more questions than we have answers.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sarah. Karen and I started the podcast Organizing Ideas because the two of us really felt we needed a space to have conversations about topics like intellectual freedom. And it means a lot to us what you've shared and to know that other people are listening and appreciate these discussions. We've always tried to be really honest on the podcast about the limits of our knowledge. And we are really lucky that we've had some truly incredible guests join us to share their insights and their wisdom on the podcast. Without their time and energy, the podcast wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be as good, that's for sure. And the award tonight, we really want to thank them and say it's not just for us, it's for those folks as well.
So we really want to thank and recognize a few of the folks who we've spoken to specifically about intellectual freedom, including Shelby, who beautifully summarized the tolerance paradox in our conversation, Nico and Alicia, who called out the hypocrisy at Toronto Public Library, Lena, who talked about the pattern of libraries hosting fascists and transphobes, Sam, who has done incredible theoretical work on intellectual freedom, Baharak, who talked about intellectual freedom in public versus academic libraries, Stacy, who unfortunately received targeted harassment for creating resources about anti-oppression, and so many others. And we also really cannot emphasize enough our thanks to Victoria Gomez and Sam Frederick for helping us with the transcriptions for the episodes.
We've learned a lot about intellectual freedom by talking with these folks who Karen just named and everybody else who's been involved in the podcast. And we encourage you to go and listen to them and what they have to share. They're really inspiring examples of people who are taking action in their own communities. And the thought we want to leave you with tonight is that if library workers can listen and learn from the communities that we're a part of, it has the potential to lead us to new ideas about what libraries can be, what intellectual freedom is, and how we can hold space for new ideas to emerge. Thanks so much.
Thank you, and congratulations to you, Allison and Karen, for the significant work that you do that creates hopefully lasting and positive change within our communities. The next award that we will be looking at is the Building Better Communities Award. It's for an individual or an organization responsible for increasing the relevancy and impact of library service through partnership, collaboration, and building trust where little had previously existed. The 2021 winner was a two-way tie, and here to present the first recipient is Elizabeth Tracy of the Whistler Public Library.
Hi, thanks, Todd. So I'm Elizabeth Tracy, Director at the Whistler Public Library, and I'm honored to be here tonight to celebrate the good work of 3 libraries for whom I have great esteem. This year, I had the auspicious opportunity to participate in an interlinked working committee that was assembled to help tell the story of how libraries adapted and rose to serve their communities during the COVID-19 pandemic. As part of the committee's work, I had the opportunity to do something that I'd never done. I got to read the provincial grant reports of 6 of my counterparts. Over the 6 reports, there were many powerful, compelling stories about how libraries rose to meet the needs of their communities during what felt like the most difficult of times. However, there was one in particular that stuck with me because when I read the description for the Building Better Communities Award, I thought of the joint take-home technology project between North Vancouver District, North Vancouver City, and West Vancouver Memorial Libraries. I am so happy to know that they are receiving this honor tonight, and I thought I would finish by sharing the nomination with you. I am nominating the North Shore Libraries in recognition of their take-home technology initiative, which I believe is an excellent example of increasing the relevancy and impact of library service through partnership, collaboration, and building trust. When the North Shore Libraries closed in March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they were deeply concerned about community members who depended on local libraries to access Wi-Fi services, computers, technology support. Like libraries, many critical services closed and moved to digital and telephone service delivery as a result of the pandemic. With this change, people without access to a computer or a smartphone, including many seniors and other vulnerable individuals, were no longer able to make important connections with services and loved ones, a devastating blow during a time of crisis. In April 2020, the staff from the 3 libraries connected with TELUS to request a donation of devices to help support their most vulnerable residents. TELUS came through, generously offered a donation of 200 tablets and 200 mobile phones to the Take Home Technology Initiative. Libraries then worked through the Tri-Municipal North Shore Emergency Operations Center and community partners to distribute devices to those who needed them most. The libraries also developed a package of training materials for new users and provided one-on-one help for those who were new to technology. The impact was immediate and profound, and for those who received the devices, they were able to connect with loved ones and service providers, access online learning, order groceries online, and much more. Please join me in welcoming Deb Hutchinson-Kep to accept this award.
Hey everyone, I'm Deb Hutchinson-Kep at the North Vancouver City Library, and I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of all 3 of the North Shore Libraries. We operate collectively on the unceded and ancestral territories of the Squamish and the Tsleil-Waututh peoples. A project like this requires so much collaboration and support and is only successful with the ongoing support of even more people. So we have a lot of people we need to thank. First of all, Nida Alizadeh, who is a resident of the North Shore and works for TELUS, and who really pioneered this work with TELUS to ensure that they partnered with us, and they also proceeded to support the rollout and extended the free cell phone plans when that became necessary. So thank you to Nida. Also to John Chapman at the North Shore Emergency Management Office, who was instrumental in coordinating this work and has since left us and moved to Whistler, but we were so grateful for his work. Pat Cumming at West Van and Leanna Wright at North Van City for coordinating the distribution of the devices to a wide variety of our community partners. Kat Lucas, Sarah Felkar, and Marianne Kempthorne at our 3 libraries who contributed their expertise about technology and our respective communities and provided leadership to staff at all 3 libraries to design and support a successful rollout. The North Van City Library Tech Team and West Van Memorial Library's Digital Experience Team, who worked to set up, prepare, and package devices for distribution, and then created the thorough and extensive handouts to support the distribution. And the frontline staff at all 3 libraries, who provided friendly, kind, helpful, wraparound support to our device recipients in the most challenging of ways over the telephone, by email, by chat, to ensure that they could get up and running and be connected. And to all of our community partners who worked to identify clients in need and ensure that the devices found their way into the right hands. Research in our community has clearly showed that as a result of the pandemic, more people needed more access to technology and the internet, yet they had less access to devices, internet connectivity, or safe, reliable private spaces to use technology. That same research showed that for many people, the public library was their only place to access technology. When libraries closed at the start of the pandemic, many people in our communities lost their only access to technology and digital skills support. This collaboration of amazing people was able to pull together and make a big difference for 400 people in the greatest need when there was very little else available. It has also created ripple effects in our community. In addition to directly helping the individuals who received devices, it got the attention of politicians and others in our community and got people talking about the digital divide and inequity in access to technology. Several community service providers have been able to leverage this work and access additional funding to get more technology into the hands of their clients. And it has clearly underlined the critical role of libraries in providing access and skills development, and it inspires us to plan creatively to ensure that we can sustain public technology access in future emergencies. On behalf of all 3 libraries, thank you so much for this award.
Well, congratulations to you, Deb, and the entire North Shore Library squad that have been able to put all that work together. What a fabulous program. Here to present our second recipient of the Building Better Communities Award is Ravi Basi.
Thank you, Todd, and thank you to BCLA for all your work on this event. I'm so thrilled to present this award to my colleague, Tanya Thomas. Thank you, Tanya, for bringing an idea to life with such compassion, sensitivity, and creativity. You made it look so easy, but I know it wasn't. Your programs for the Somali community, the Somali story times that you did in person, and then the Somali parenting workshops that you unexpectedly had to take online due to the pandemic, they highlighted a vibrant and engaged community that is often overlooked by libraries. You also paved the way for us to serve other hard-to-reach cultural groups. And your programs showed the amazing power that libraries have to enrich lives, create opportunities, and discover possibilities. We are all very proud of you at Surrey Libraries. Thank you, Tanya, and congratulations on this award.
Thank you so much. I was privileged to be the face of these programs. I got to do the shiny, sparkly bits of designing and delivering 2 new program series, learning Somali folk tales and phrases in the Somali language, and getting the rewarding experience of being face-to-face with adorable kids and their caregivers. However, behind the scenes, doing the hard legwork of innovation and collaboration are Surrey Library's Manager of Multicultural Services, Ravi Basi, and Options Settlement and Integration Program Manager, Gurinder Roy. I can't emphasize enough how indispensable it was to have a rich partnership with our community organization, Options, and their incredible settlement worker, Ikram Araya. These are Options programs just as much as they are Surrey Libraries programs. Ikram managed to eke out the time to support the story times and to translate and deliver the parenting workshops on top of the incredible volume of work she does to support the Somali community. She absolutely hit it out of the park during both programs. I had the privilege of partnering with an amazing community volunteer, Saeed Mumin. Saeed co-delivered the story times with me, gave me my primer on Somali culture, and translated back and forth between Somali and English throughout the series. And thanks to the Somali community in Surrey, who took a chance on the library and decided to check out this new Storytime program, which they came to nickname Somali School at the Library. We hope that our amazing experience with these programs demonstrates to other libraries that it's possible to create a successful program that is culturally relevant and linguistically appropriate, even if you do not have a staff member who speaks the language. If you are interested in more ideas on how to welcome your patrons' home language into your programs and services, check out a book by Roma Shumak-Horbach called Linguistically Appropriate Practice, a Guide for Working with Young Immigrant Children. If you don't have it, you can ILL it from Surrey. Thank you.
That's a nice touch to talk about another library service in addition to that fabulous program that you've been able to offer through Surrey. So congratulations to Tanya and the rest of your community partners. Our final award tonight is the BCLA Eureka Award. This award is given to an individual or organization that has created an innovative approach to address barriers, solve a problem, provide a powerful new insight, or introduce an original idea into the library field. This is an award for thinkers, analyzers, innovators, dreamers, and doers. So here to present the 2021 winner of the Eureka Award is Dr. Luann Cinnamon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Luann Cinnamon, and I'm a faculty member at the UBC School of Information. My fellow nominee and colleague, Dr. Heather O'Brien, and I are absolutely delighted that the Eureka Award is going to the members of the Making Research Accessible initiative for the Downtown Eastside Research Access Portal. The Downtown Eastside RAP, as it's known, is an open digital repository of research and community-generated materials that are relevant to the Downtown Eastside neighborhood and community members in Vancouver. It's the product of a multi-year community-engaged collaboration between the UBC Library and the UBC Learning Exchange, which is located in the Downtown Eastside. The RAP was designed to address the broken relationship between academia and the heavily researched Downtown Eastside community. After decades of extractive research in the Downtown Eastside, the results of which are largely inaccessible by community members, the RAP was set up as a step towards making research about the Downtown Eastside more available to community members and towards building more positive and respectful relationships going forward. The RAP does this by collecting research from subscription databases and community sources, clearing the rights to those materials where possible, and providing easy-to-use tools to find and use the materials. It also works with community members to design the portal to represent the community members in their own terms, for example, through customized categories and subject headings, and to be relevant, usable, and responsive on a community level. The project was designed to be sustainable, and work is ongoing in terms of continuing the growth of the collection, doing active outreach and training activities, and evaluation. And I want to invite you all to go and have a look at the RAP and recommend it to others, because really its impact is going to be increased when people are using it more and more. So really, Heather and I, in nominating the RAP, we just felt it was such an impressive and exemplary project. It's a credit to the effort and the resources invested by a very large team that were involved in creating and who continue to develop it. This includes members of the Making Research Accessible Steering Committee, community partners, the staff of the Learning Exchange, the UBC Library Systems team and other staff, and even some iSchool students have been involved in working on this. We want to especially call out the exemplary leadership of Aaliyah McCauley, Community Engagement Librarian at UBC, and Angela Toll, the Academic Director of the Learning Exchange. So congratulations to the whole team on this accomplishment, and please welcome Dr. Angela Toll to accept the award.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to accept the BCLA Eureka Award on behalf of the Making Research Accessible Initiative Steering Committee. As Luann said, it's a partnership between the UBC Learning Exchange in the Downtown East Side and UBC Libraries Irving K. Barber Learning Center. The steering committee also includes representatives from the UBC School of Library, Archival and Information Studies, Simon Fraser University Library, the Vancouver Public Library, and many graduate students. I can't name everyone who's contributed their time and expertise to the MRAI over the years, but I must give a particular shout out to my long-term partner at UBC Library, Aaliyah McCauley. Luann has described the origins of the Making Research Accessible initiative and our response to community concerns about research and the inability of people in the Downtown East Side to benefit from that research. And our response to that through the Downtown East Side Research Access Portal. I would also encourage you to take a look at this resource and to share it with your colleagues. The RAP was tested and built iteratively with representatives from the Downtown East Side, organizations and individual residents. And our community engagement work is ongoing and building. As of a couple of weeks ago, we had over 1,000 items on the RAP. And last month, there were 750 unique website visits. We thank Luann and her team for nominating the MRAI for the Eureka Award and for the BCLA for recognizing our work. It means a lot to us. We look forward to celebrating together when the committee meets face-to-face once more in the fall. So thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Toll, and congratulations on your award. This award evening is always a surprise to show us the amount of tremendous work that goes on in the public library, the library community within BC. It's just fabulous for us to be able to acknowledge a few of them, knowing that there are many, many, many programs that are out there. Just great work. This brings us to the end of our 2021 BC Library Association Awards. We look forward to seeing everyone in 2022, where we will be presenting the awards in person at the BC Library Conference. I want to again congratulate all the award winners. A recording of this awards will be posted to the BCLA YouTube account if you want to rewatch or share the recording with your friends. And with that, I'd like to bid everybody a good night. Thank you very much.